Hey everyone, this is Charles from LowLevelBoss.com, and today I'm going to be talking about the LawBreakers closed alpha. I got to play it a little bit, and I just wanted to give you my opinions on what I thought so far. But first, let's talk about how the game actually plays. LawBreakers is an online multiplayer shooter game, and it's very class-based, kind of similar to Overwatch or Team Fortress. But the game seems to play a little bit more like the old Unreal games, which makes sense because the lead designer is Cliff Bleszinski. And you can kind of see his influence throughout the game. It feels kind of old style, like it's not as cartoony and colorful as games today, but it is actually more cartoony in its physics almost. It's like you can jump around, there's a lot of mobility and movement and a lot of aerials and whatnot. And I feel like being able to move around the map as quick as you can in this game is actually one of its great, selling points. It's very fast paced, it's very exciting, and it feels like an old school kind of game, with its movement and whatnot. You're not sitting there, ducking around corners or whatever. You're actually going into the fray and fighting, so that's actually a good point to it. So overall, when I first started playing it, I was kind of getting some bad vibes. I was like, this is kind of weird. I don't know what's going on. But once I got into it, I can kind of okay, I can kind of get into this, and it was actually really fun. When you first start off, you have a choice of 4 different characters. There's a 5th one that seems to be locked, so I don't know if they're going to add another one, or even more than just one, But you have your choice of Vanguard, Enforcer, Titan, and Assassin. Vanguards use jetpacks and miniguns, so they're kind of aerial, and they can do a pretty good amount of damage, but they kind of suck on their health. Enforcers are your general purpose kind of Marines. You just shoot and move around. They're kind of like you can use them throughout the map. Titans are very slow moving, but they have rocket launchers and a lot of health, so they're actually good for defense and holding down an area. The last class is my favorite one, is the Assassins. They're very fast, they have a grappling hook, and they do a lot of melee damage at the cost of their health. They're kind of easy to kill, so they can come in and do a lot of damage, but if they get hit, they're pretty much done. And for LawBreakers, there are 2 game modes at the moment. There is a CTF, a capture the flag type of variant, where it's a battery. It's a item that's in the middle of the map that the teams have to kind of fight over and take to their base. Once it's at their base, it charges up, and people keep fighting over it and charging at their base or the other base. The charge never goes down, so it's always counting up to 100%. Once it hits 100%, whoever's base it is in for 20 seconds, they win, or they get a point at least, and it's the first 1 to 2 points wins the match. And the other mode is domination. There's 3 points on the map, and everybody kind of fights over those points. And when you get a point, it adds to your score. So each little round you can get up to 3 points, and it's the first 2, I think 13 or 15 points is the winner of that round. Actually winner of the match. And then you move on to your next match. So overall, I think there's a pretty decent variety so far. It's still kind of lacking to other games, but I feel like each class kind of does their own part, and there's not these weird variants of the same class, but maybe this one has a little bit more health and less mobility or whatnot. Starting off, I thought the style was kind of weird. It felt kind of dated and old, but it grew on me, so that one's kind of a moot point. I don't know. It's can go either way with some people. And while I like the fast-paced nature to this game, I feel like sometimes it gets a little too confusing and it's hard to plan out what you want to do. With teammates, it seems like everybody just throws their body at the point or at the battery or whatever objective, and it seems a little chaotic in that there's no tactics to it. Of course, if you team up with somebody and you go into an area to take a point, you'll do better, but there doesn't seem to be any kind of team configuration that seems to work. You obviously want one of each character because they can all kind of help, but I've seen games won with 3 of the same character and then the 2 other characters are the same as well. So there's no team composition that I would expect from shooters today. And so overall, I'm pretty excited about this game. I want to see where it's going, but one big issue I see is there's no progression, and I don't know if that's something they're going to add in later, and that this pre-alpha or alpha is just to server test and test the balances of characters. But I would like to see the ability to unlock something. I don't know if that would be weapons or other characters or whatnot, but at least maybe cosmetics, something that keeps me pushing to play another game, to get another game, and then another, to unlock and to progress. Because I think that's where a lot of these multiplayer games kind of fell at. You don't really feel like you're working up to something. You just feel like, oh, okay, let's play this game over and over and over again. And that could just be my personal taste. I feel like some of the games get a little too repetitive. Although other games I love, like Overwatch and Rocket League, and those are the same thing over and over again. But I feel like there's more dynamics to that, with the whole team makeup. You can actually set up tactics and kind of execute those tactics. Where in this, I feel like it's a little too chaotic, and everybody's coming from every side, and they're just rushing areas. So I don't really know if they can change that, if it will ever change for me personally. But I might not be looking forward to this game later on, because I feel like it would run out way too quickly for me, like a lot of other games have. and I feel like there just needs to be something more in-depth there, or at least something where I can progress. But those are just my opinions. If you like this video, please like it. If you want to see more of my own opinions, please subscribe to the channel and check it out. This was Charles from LowLevelBoss.com. Catch you later.